Hello everyone, welcome to Study Automation. Now in this tutorial, in this video, we will see how we can create our structure, our UI, something like this. So we can create get books, add books, and then we can show the details below to that. So let's go into the project. Here we have written h1 tag. So now instead of h1, let me write here dev, and this dev will be the main tag. So now what we will do, we can create here one button type equal to button, and then we can say that button name is get books. This is our first button. Similarly, we can create the another button that we need button, and then here we can say that we need add book. So two buttons we have added here. If I'll save it and then we'll go here, you can see we have now these two buttons are showing. Now let's go and just add one. So here we can say we can add action on click. So once we will click on this button, then what should happen? So on click we can call this dot get all books, right? So we can create one function, this dot get all books, and then it will fetch all the books and then will display just below to that. So first thing what we have to do, we have to register this book here. So we'll do this dot get all books equal to this dot get all books dot bind, and here we can pass this. So by doing this, we are just registering one method here with this component. Now after that we have to create this books also. So what we will do, we can write here get all books, and in this get all books we have to basically write the actual logic to fetch the data. So here we'll write logic to fetch data from API, and API will be, so we can go on Swagger, and from here we can see our first API is API/books. So we have to write localhost 8080/API/book. This is the first API that we need to write here. So we can say API/books. This is the API that we need to use to fetch the data. And then what we will do, we can store it in the state, and then after that we can print it. So let's see how we can fetch the data from API. So we'll write here fetch. So we have API fetch, this API we can use, and then we'll have to write here http://localhost:8080/API/books. This is our complete URL for getting all the data from the API. So if you can see Swagger, we have here localhost 8080/books. We can also try here, since this is get service, so we can say API/books. So now we can see we are getting one book here. So the same URL we have to use in our code. Let me just paste it again, right? Once we will do this, then we have to write then fetch this, then we can say result, and this result we have to store somewhere. So we can say result, and then we can say res.json, so we can convert it into JSON format. And once this one will be done, then we can say that push this result result into, so I can say push this result into we have to set it, right? We can say this dot set state, and in this state we have to set the data. So now we have to create, so since we have now all data available in this result in the form of JSON, you can see we have already converted. Let me write this thing in one line. So we have already converted it into JSON format, and yeah, after that we have written then result, and then we have to set this result into a state. Now to store the result, we have to create here one array, right? So we can say all books. This is our array, and in this array we will store all the values. So here inside this we will have all books, and in this all books we will store the data in the form of result. Whatever data we are getting, we are just storing in this particular state, right? So now this particular part is done, and this is then, right? Once this will complete, then it may possible that we can get error. So in that case we can simply say or let's remove the error. We can simply here write console and then .log, console.log. So if anything happen, it will simply print it, right? Catch error and it will print it. So now we can save it, and as of now everything is fine. We should have, once we will complete this, we should get all the data in the books. So now this get all books is connected with this one. So let's do one thing. We can debug, and then we can try to see whether it is working or not. So we will go on the API, just refresh it, right click, inspect. Once we will go inspect, click on source, and from here we have to see the file name. So our file name is books.js. So we will go onto the inspect element and press Ctrl Shift and P. Ctrl Shift and P you have to press, and after that you can write books.js, exact file name that you have. Click on it, it will open the exact code that you are writing. Now just add one debug point here. Let's say I have added debug point at this one place, or anywhere you can just simply place debug point, so that once it will run, it should stop at this place. Now go to the application, click on get all books. Once we press get books, okay, it should stop here. So now we have some error. It is saying fetch this has been blocked by codes policy. Okay, so now when you are running your project and API on different port, let's say here we are running our port on 3000, and then now our UI project is running on 8080. In that case, what we have to do, we have to add codes in API project. We have to include codes in API project so that anyone can connect with your API. We can see this in the next video. Thank you.